Yeah, I got a good one for you. This is part of our Florida interrogation series. We're going to go down to Key West, Florida. Yes, we are. This one here is like ridiculous. Really is ridiculous because this individual feels that he is extremely entitled. And the backstory, if I can give it to you real quick, is Mr. Brewer felt that this individual here felt that he was so important that while this individual was taking a pee behind the building that's not even his building, he decided, I don't like that. And then get into a confrontation with this man while this man was relieving himself of the excess water that he had accumulated from drinking beer on a Super Bowl Sunday. She was Scholars last year, 2023. So that's the backstory with regard to what we're dealing with this guy. And he's definitely extremely entitled. I found it a little bit funny. But if you like interrogations, this one will be interesting. So without further ado, Mr. What is his name? Lloyd Preston Brewer the third. Interestingly, as you listen to this interrogation, you'll hear that he has some connections with the police. I think he knows the police. I'll talk about that a little bit. It's been a minute since I saw this one, but he thinks, in the context of a murder investigation, that him having a friend on the department or knowing somebody on the department is going to help him in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care, who has to be accountable to somebody else that 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 has to be accountable to somebody in the state's attorney's office who has to be accountable to somebody else who has to be accountable to somebody else who has to be accountable to somebody else, ultimately to the state's attorney's office in the context of a murder investigation. So if you think that you having a friend is going to help you or knowing somebody, nah, here we go. Mr. Lloyd Preston. They use a body cam. So one of the things on this particular interview, they're using a body cam as opposed to to the they're using a body cam as opposed to the interrogation room video. I have no idea why that's so. Just to give you a little trivia about body cams, they have like a cache in them, and then the cop hits them. And then what we see when we observe the video is a minute before the cop hit the button. So whenever you're observing a video that's a police video cam, it's kind of going to miss that 1 minute because that's the minute that it was recording before the cop hit the button. So sometimes you might have been watching the videos, maybe it felt a little bit suspicious about that. That's actually what happens. It's basically set up so that it runs continuously in a cache form, and it'll cache like a minute or 2 minutes. And again, this is rules determined by the department. They're variables, but something like 1 minute that it records all the time, holds it in cache. When they activate it, it puts that and goes, when we review it, we review the entirety, and that includes the cache. And that's why you'll have a minute of silence many times when you're observing a body cam video. There'll be some sound coming in momentarily. I'll get.
All right, first, before we start anything,
That's so funny. I mean, I just simply explain why we don't have sound, and then I get impatient about why I'm not hearing sound.
because formality, I'm gonna read you your rights, okay? You get your water?
I got my water.
I'm gonna read you your rights and go through this. I'll have you sign it, just saying that I read them to you.
And read the rights?
Yeah, and then,
I'll just sign it, I know what it
and then
says.
if you wanna, I'll have to read them. It's a
Okay.
formality, and then you wanna give us your story, I'm here to listen. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask any questions, and to have him present with you during.
Okay, I'm gonna put that stop there because we're having some kind of weird internet thing going on. So we'll let the internet catch up while I'm talking. All right, so he's getting his rights read here, and this is actually kind of funny because according to the lawyers, there's a dynamic that goes on right now that's actually going on. And so he's in an interrogation room and they're reading him his rights. And according to the lawyers, when you're in an interrogation room and they're reading you the rights, you about getting ready to get arrested. And according to the lawyers, you can never talk yourself out of an arrest, but you can always talk yourself deeper into an arrest. So at that point, he's just ignoring, oh, I know my right. I know everything. And actually, what's getting ready to go down is he's arrested and he don't even know it. He ain't free to go.
Questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand those rights?
I do.
Okay. Do me a favor, just read this here.
Um,
Do you have your glasses? Okay.
cheers.
Yep, there you go. Just read this here for me, the waiver of rights. If you read it out loud for me.
I have read this statement of my rights, and I understand that my rights are, or what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and I know what I'm doing. I
Come on, YouTube, stop.
promise. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Okay. And if I could borrow your cheat.
And that's actually, the first time I saw that, I was like, okay, buddy, you're bad boy. This is the last bad boy move you're going to make. Because he's apparently an entitled person that owns some property. It'll play out in the story. But yeah, that's really the
Okay. And if I could borrow your cheaters. Because I can't see. All right.
let's see what I can do with this
all right.
video here. What we got with this video?
Pretty much.
Take it to the max. See if we can up the quality of it. Oh, that happens. Come on, guys.
Tell me what happened. And start, if you can, just start I guess the night that you were at Contown that night?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead and let me know. Tell me what you
I
got.
was there for the Super Bowl.
Okay,
I was with my niece and her boyfriend.
okay,
They left. I am now single, so I hung out for a little bit longer to see if maybe a potential suitor might show up.
okay.
Nothing happened. I was ready to go home.
Okay, I think you all know that one of the things I do, I'm a sex addiction coach, and I'm also a Christian, so I believe in sex in marriage. But that's my belief, and I'm gonna kind of put that to the side and commentary here. So he's already starting off from the wrong from the get, because he's getting drunk, hanging out at a bar, thinking something. Well, the Bible says strange, so I'm going to use the word that the Bible used. He thinks some strange is going to roll up in there. And first of all, that might be a little bit problematic, because it didn't.
I noticed there was a lot of activity going to and from the back door,
Okay,
as we have discussed in the past.
Yes.
Correct?
yes,
So I went out back to just see what was going on. As you know, I am armed. Nature of my business, my property.
all right,
I went out back and there was not one, this was not a drug dealer, I don't think, just a guy. And he had buddies with him, and there were cars, but he was in between two cars. There were people on either side, and I guess they were all together. I don't
Okay.
know. They hadn't come from inside the bar. I don't know where they came from. And he's pissing in the parking lot
okay.
and on the building. And I said, man,
Okay. So I get he's getting ready to be the moral bathroom police, I guess. But I want you to hear something that you already heard again that makes this wrong. And that's him drinking with a firearm. Duh.
in the parking lot
Okay.
and on the building. And I said, man, can't you just go I'll be honest, can't you just go in the fucking bar and piss in the toilet? And
What kind of bar was it he was what?
And I said, man, can't you just go I'll be honest, can't you just go in the fucking bar and piss in the toilet? And we exchanged words. And as it progressed, he became
Probably not,
agitated
because the
and
toilet's
approached me.
dirty.
And I said, look, I own this. Stop. He continued to approach me. I said,
He
I'm
said he
armed.
owned this.
It appeared as though he was reaching for something.
Just so we're clear, he owned one building, and the building the man was, how should we say, letting his relief water spray on. That was somebody else's building. So he's confronting somebody about allowing relief water to roll down on the wall of the building and on the parking lot of the building, and it ain't even his building.
The first shot went off this way. The second shot went off up in the air. To the best of my recollection, he was already on top of me. It would happen that fast.
Okay.
There's no doubt I fired a weapon.
Okay.
because they wouldn't let me wash my hands.
Yeah, we'll do that after. Okay.
It happened.
All right.
I immediately, once he was down, did not continue to assault him, set my firearm on the hood of a car,
Okay.
awaiting the arrival of the police. I did not render aid because other people showed up to render aid.
Okay.
And I know he's got a lot of witnesses. They're going to say a lot of different things. That's what happened from my perspective.
Okay.
But I can tell you, he was on me so fast that my second shot went in the air.
Okay.
It was that fast. It was on my property. I stood my ground. I feared for my life. Period.
Okay.
See, seriously, I know I like to joke a lot, but the thing is, again, if you're gonna carry a firearm, there's certain stuff that you need to do. Now, like on the one hand, if you listen to the speech he's giving the police, he's trying to act like he's following it, but he's not really. If he was following it, he wouldn't have done it in the first place. He wouldn't have never been drinking and then having a firearm. Because he had been there for a while. I mean, it wasn't like he was drunk, but there's a reason why they don't want you to be under the influence
That
and to
fast.
have a firearm.
On my
Just like he
property.
said, just like that.
I stood my ground.
Somebody's whole life can change as he gives this speech.
That fast. It was on my property. I stood my ground. I feared for my life. Period.
Okay. On, just so I know, if you can, draw me a little map. You know the property. Draw me a map where it was on the parking lot. So the parking lot's back here, like this. That's the rear parking lot, right? Okay. Let's say this is the door for Comptown.
Where?
Okay, just draw it right there. Show me. It would say by the trailers or.
No. So there was a car, you know the way the back parking lot is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like this, right?
Okay.
No, not over here, not, these are the dumpsters.
Right.
Right? Here's that Jeep that's been sitting there forever.
Yes.
It was approximately here. There was a
Don't
truck
forget to
parked
like
here.
or
After it
subscribe,
happened, it happened
whichever
about
is
here.
missing in
Okay.
your life.
I
We're
laid
going
my
to bring
firearm
some
there.
exciting videos your way.
When did you
guaranteed.
make contact with him?
As I came out,
Uh-huh.
I was walking this direction. It started here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And where did it
Lloyd
happen? Did the
Preston
altercation
Brewer
happen like
the
on
third
in the
is this
parking lot itself,
individual's
In the parking
name.
lot itself.
Okay,
Not in the
so
barn.
no, not in the bar. I'm saying like, well,
Were you in between the
in between the cars, so was that?
In between the cars.
Okay,
Right here.
all right,
All of that's a matter of fact.
okay,
There's cameras everywhere.
okay,
So all of that is a matter of fact.
okay,
And then as he approached me, I identified, I own all of this.
yeah,
It's all my property.
But where he
I
shot the
identified
man,
myself as the
seriously,
owner of the
he
property.
didn't own it.
I identified myself as being armed. He still approached and appeared as though he was going for something.
okay.
That's.
What did he tell you when you told him about what?
We were going back, like, who the fuck are you? We're just going back and forth on this thing. And it just, I mean, that fast.
Okay.
It was not a long drawn out process. It really wasn't.
Oh, you just
If it had
shot him.
been,
Yeah.
then his buddies that were here would have, I mean,
Okay.
had they all come in together and it been a fist fight, things might have ended differently. But that dude was agitated already. I mean, you can test me for drugs or whatever. I don't know.
You have alcohol, sir. So.
I can't be adamant. I don't think
And the reason why I say is because he's trying to play that elite game He's trying to like, oh yeah. I don't do drugs. Oh yeah. I don't do drugs. Yeah, those people that do drugs, yeah, something wrong with those people that do drugs. But yeah, he's the one who's sitting in a bar all day watching the football game. After the football game's over, waiting for some strange to come all up in there. And as a result of him not getting any strange because he's unoccupied and he notices how people keep going in and out of the door, he decides to mind somebody else's business and confront that man like that. Just saying.
I hit with the second shot because the second shot went in the air. It was that fast.
So when the altercation happened, that you all came together, was there any?
And keep in mind the time that this interview is occurring. This is actually in the morning. The shooting had happened in the evening. I think it was like 10 o'clock or something. But 10:30, 11:30, something between that time period.
Contact with you on him? Did you grab him? Did he grab you? Was there any hand contact?
Not to my recollection.
Okay.
It happened so fast, but was.
And I don't know, man. I just can't leave stuff alone. Like little things tell me a lot. Like, you see that money? It's a decent amount of money in it. But the thing that I'm not getting here is this gum. And the thing that I'm not getting about this gum is this box, it seems a little bit worn. So I'm not getting why that box is so warm and it's just a regular pack of gum. Anyway.
If somebody's coming at you that fast,
I got you.
it doesn't matter.
All right.
Now, if we're gonna get into very minute particulars, that's what I'm gonna ask for a lawyer.
Okay.
Because
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you,
You see how he tried to threaten the cop there? Just saying. Watch it.
and the reason I asked for
Hold on.
you,
Yeah. Here we go. Like I say, he knows this guy, so he knows him. He got some rapport, but at the same time, he ain't got no problem trying to threaten him.
All right.
now, if we're gonna get into very minute particulars, that's what I'm gonna ask for a lawyer.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you the overall scope of what happened. And the reason I asked for you is you understand the dynamics of that establishment.
Yes, I do.
And so you know, I'm armed all the time, nature of my business and what goes on back there. And really, all I was doing was walking through here to see what was going on, to give you a call if something was happening.
All right.
That's it.
When you
didn't contact a lot.
No, we have, and you always
Yeah, but you didn't call. That's the thing. You didn't call.
In all honesty, I don't think they were dealing with anything. I think they were just drunk guys.
Okay.
They're local, I think.
All right.
And I can tell you, one of them's probably gonna try to kill you based on
Did they say anything?
the looks. And finally, your officer that did not detain me.
Right.
Really, he didn't handcuff me, but we went and sat on my back steps. Because originally I was looking at the scene and the guy was looking at me like, yeah, I'm gonna get even with you. And the officer saw it too, and he said, just come sit over here.
Right.
Just look this direction.
All right. So just so I get it right, you walked out of here, you were walking, you walked out of Countdown and you walk in there when you when you engaged.
Yeah.
in the
He's over there pissing, and he zipped his pants up, and we had words, and he came at me.
Okay.
And I mean, there's no reason for me to go with a guy that's just pissing other than verbally, just, really Go to the fucking bar. They got 3
What
bathrooms.
kind of bar?
I got you. No,
Go to the fucking bar. They got 3 bathrooms.
I got you. No,
And
Thing is, are they clean?
there's
That's
just
the
pissing
thing.
other than verbally. Just,
Are they
really,
clean bathrooms?
go to the fucking bar. They got 3 bathrooms.
I got you. No,
And I
Are they
don't
clean?
know, beyond that, I didn't know him. He had no reason to have malice for me that I'm aware of.
right.
I mean, a lot of people know me, you know that.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him
Oh,
as
you're
someone.
all that. A lot of people know you. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're known in the you're known in the keys. Yeah.
That I'd run into before.
Okay. All right. And as far as words, you can't remember what he told you or anything like that?
It
Okay.
was all, I hate to say it, but in the heat of battle, in the heat of the moment, words are exchanged. Yes. Can I be verbally abusive? Yes, I can. But did I walk up and strike him to cause him to come at me? No.
All right, okay.
Look at my size. I mean,
I
no.
got you.
And my recollection is the guy was a little bit taller than I am.
All right. Did he hit you? Did he strike you?
No, he came at me in a threatening manner,
Okay,
and it appeared as though he was reaching for something, but he
Okay.
was coming at me.
all right.
And
Did you see what he was, like,
No,
what he was
no,
reaching
no,
at
no.
or anything like that?
I did not.
Okay.
What do
All
you
right.
mean by the threatening manner? Like, what could be
No,
threatening?
he's gonna have
to
those
you?
words and, we're gonna have issues. Cause I mean.
I believe they had this
we're-
on video. I
he
think
ended
this
up-
messed them up.
The best of my recollection was outside here, okay?
Behind the cars?
Right,
Okay.
outside.
It was
Now,
originally
now,
down
you
here,
tell me if
down
I'm
to you.
you tell me if I'm incorrect. But, yeah, so he obviously came toward me.
Okay.
Did you find him here, next to the building? No. You found him in the middle of the parking lot, which
Okay.
is where I was. Which means he came to me.
All right.
When you came out, where were his friends?
There was a friend.
Yeah, they have that on video.
Okay. I don't know if they were his friends.
It's foggy
But
though.
there were other people, there were some over here
Mhm.
and some over here, but there were cars here and here, is the best of my recollection. So it was like, he was isolated.
So he was by himself, like staying pissing?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, like they're not sitting around watching piss.
right.
Yeah,
Was
you
there
were.
anybody back here by the back door? Anybody hanging out back there?
I walked out, I don't believe there was at the time. There was immediately afterwards.
Okay,
There were all kind of people everywhere
all right.
afterwards.
At what point did you draw on him? Was it here?
When I fired, he was about this close. Because I fired on him. It appeared as though he was reaching for something, and he's coming at me. And by the
Okay.
time he got that close, I fired, and he's on top of me.
Okay, did he fall on you?
He came, yeah,
Or did he, like,
my second shot went in the air.
okay, so
He was on-
when you fell on the ground? Do you remember if you fell on the ground and fell back?
Yeah,
I'll give him some type of credit as he's going through this. It'd be hard to remember every little detail about what was going on. Again, it could have been prevented by him not trying to get strange and then not drinking and then not confronting people when he was frustrated about not getting strange and he's intoxicated.
he came at me. Yeah, because when I got up.
Or under
But he
the
wasn't on
influence.
top of me by the
Okay.
time it all ended. He was on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the ground because you killed
Do you
him.
remember where he was reaching? Like, was he reaching?
It looked like on his side.
Oh,
Okay.
he
Which
was
is where
reaching. He was
carried a firearm.
reaching.
Okay.
I mean, there was no reason for this. This was,
Do you remember if you were holding the gun with one hand or with two hands?
me,
Were you able to actually
when
punch
I,
out properly?
It's hard to remember that kind of thing. And even right now in the shock, and again, it's sun rising in the morning.
I don't know. I will tell you what the best of my recollection is.
I'm sure it happened pretty fast.
2, 1. I mean, it was that fast.
Fast.
And just to get, so you walking towards him, yeah,
I'm not looking toward him, he's walking toward me.
okay.
Do you want to show?
Like,
Show mommy?
I'm trying to get like, did you fall, you said you got up off the ground?
Yeah, because when he came, my second shot went in the air.
Okay,
It was that fast.
okay. Right,
And I'm gonna maintain stand your ground all day long. I
You're
mean,
gonna try to
it's
you're
my
gonna try to
parking
play
lot.
the stand your
It's coming
ground
late.
card, huh?
I mean,
You're gonna play stand your ground.
what I hope comes out of this,
You're gonna play
I understand your
ground.
job. And I understand friends don't cross that line for your job. I think this is a case for a grand jury.
well, that's what we're here, you know my job.
Yep. I think this is a case for a grand
and-
jury to investigate all of the facts.
This is something that we get all the facts, we get everything.
This is something that you'll find that's an ongoing theme in these interrogations is how the person in the hot seat seems to be a specialist at police procedures and policing in general. If you recall, a couple days back, Markeith Lloyd was telling the police how to do their job, and that's something that you'll find is a theme. It's kind of an ongoing difficulty.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, we put everything together,
And you know I'm not
and
going
before we
anywhere.
do anything,
I don't want to go to jail tonight, but you know I'm not going anywhere. So,
Oh yeah, this is funny. This I forgot about this part. This just shows you what kind of narcissist and what kind of goofball this guy is. Watch this. Watch this.
I'm not going anywhere. So, take it to a grand jury.
that's up to the state. Preston, we put everything together, we take it to the state, then they make that decision.
But you know,
What?
and this, you know, this wasn't a revenge thing. This wasn't one of the dealers back there. It wasn't like I was hunting somebody.
I got you.
In no way, shape, or form.
I got you. You had gone to the bar earlier. What time do you think you got to the bar?
We watched the whole Super Bowl.
The whole Super Bowl? Okay. How many drinks you think you might have had?
Probably 3.
3?
Okay,
Was it drinks or beers? What were you
Beers.
drinking? Beers?
I don't
Okay.
know.
You
Tall
just drink
beers,
beer?
Oh.
Okay. And then what time did you get there, you think?
What's a beer, right? It could be like 32 ounces. That could be a beer.
We got
12
the
ounces
Uber
could be a beer.
at- You got my phone?
No, they have it, I believe. You got it in there? You got the time that
Yeah,
you got
but I
the
ordered
Uber?
the Uber.
Okay. We can look at it. So you had an Uber took you there? So you
Right.
didn't even drive there?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
no,
Uber
no,
took
no.
us-
So,
no, it was
so
before-
Stu was ready to go there and drink. So again, let's talk about the drinking. How are you going to sit there and say that you went to a Super Bowl party, you spent time at a Super Bowl party, but you got a Uber to a Super Bowl party, and you went home, or you were attempting, you went home and you ain't never going home. You went to your home for the night in a police car. But you were expected to use a Uber. I know how to say Uber. Uber.
Learn, if you drink 1 or 2 beers, don't drive, because that FHP
Yeah,
is,
but you just finished saying you drank 3. So this isn't even a 1 or 2 beer deal.
Everywhere right now.
everybody. No, I mean, we're that responsible. So my niece and
What's your niece's name?
Arabi Luke,
How do you spell that?
Arabi.
Damn, I had A-R-I.
Huh?
Luke, O-U-K-E.
Yep,
That's your niece, right?
correct.
Okay.
And
She had left already.
her and Alex Kruger. Alex
Okay.
showed up later because he was working tonight.
That's your boyfriend.
Yes.
But notice his body language. He's not as comfortable as he thinks he is.
I think that's on that for now. I'm gonna do the swaps in your hand for the GSR.
I don't deny that I shot a firearm.
Do you remember what hand you shot it with? The right hand?
It's still funny watching him try to hijack this situation.
You got it?
Yeah.
Those are my size, you know.
Oh, then you might have to do it then.
There you go.
I just gotta get the little thing out of here.
No, these might be big ones.
It's very simple. I mean, like, the cops want as much evidence as they possibly can have. That's why. They're not going by your word. You might next week decide that you didn't say that. And again, notice how he does have tight arms, so he hasn't released those arms. He was forced to just now, but up until just now, and then I can almost bet
You get
$1 at least.
Huh?
Did you get divorced?
We were never married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know we're amicable. I mean, but she's over in Salt Ponds now.
Yeah, she don't want you. She didn't want to marry you. She knew better. She knew she could save herself some trips down to the local jail and the penitentiary. You know, it's just
And as you notice, I didn't run, didn't hide,
woman's intuition
set my
101.
firearm down as soon as this situation was.
You did everything right. You did everything right. Except for go out there and confront a man while he was water relieving himself. Would you have liked somebody to come all up on you while you were sitting there bent over trying to relieve yourself of some water because you drank too many beers? Would you have liked to go through all that and have somebody all up in your
Go
mug?
have my concealed carry
They
program.
wasn't even in the mug. They was on the back of your head.
You have it.
They probably got it.
I mean, haven't you heard the term PIP, P in peace? Gee.
All right.
It didn't get positive
You do this one too.
Yeah.
or whatever. I guess they're going to do both with their hands. Just customary because
Where's the
you don't
recorder?
really know whether a person's
Right.
right-handed or left-handed, regardless of what they tell you or how they would shoot.
That's electronic, right?
Was it for
Uh,
arthritis and stuff?
no,
Or
it monitors on my body.
Really?
Biometrics,
really?
yeah, so it tells me when I need to exercise,
Huh.
when I need to sleep.
It should have told you that you need not to go outside. They should have had that feature built into the ring. They should have had another
Like a
feature:
watch, but
do not
It goes to the phone.
oh, it does.
do not
Okay.
confront people when they're water relieving themselves behind someone else's building that happens to be adjacent to a building you own.
So am I spending the night at Rick
Yeah.
Rosie's?
I don't know. We're gonna this is what we're doing, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. We're gonna put everything together. Your story, their story. Then
It's
we'll
one of
take it.
me and probably 5 or 6 of them.
And that's fine. It goes to the state. We tell them what we're gonna do. And they'll make the decision of how they want to proceed. If they're gonna take it to grand jury, if they're gonna, either way, that we just, and you know how we operate. You know me for a long time. I'm not gonna bullshit you.
And you know I'm not going anywhere.
And I know that you got plenty of roots here. So based on what the state says, we'll give them both sides, we'll give them, and they'll make a decision. And you'll know. So right now, we're just putting everything together. You coming forward, you talking to us, we'll give them that, and then they'll make the decision of how they want to.
I'm not hiding what happened.
So, no, I understand that. You've always been up front with me with no problem, so we just put everything together, and then we
Watch this,
give it to
watch
them,
this.
and it'll go from there.
Watch.
So here's what I would ask. If you want to hold me for whatever reason, give me 3 or 4 days.
Watch it.
Here's why. I'm a
Oh,
one-man shop.
oh.
I've got to pay estimated taxes. I'm the only one that can do it.
Okay.
I've got to be at my office. I don't care if you come and sit with me to make sure I don't go anywhere.
Right.
Give them
But
special
I've got to be
treatment.
able to do that.
I
Well,
got
and that's not
to.
just
I
for
got to do
Can't
it.
make that decision.
I got to
And I'm
do
gonna
it.
tell you, I can't make that
I
decision.
got
That's
to.
not on me to
I
make.
got to.
But,
And the thing is what I
It's
come
something that
back
we'll
to,
have to
if you got to do that, why was it that you got to confront that man while he was out back water relieving himself?
state about it, okay?
Peeing, in other
And
words.
like I said, I've always been upfront with you. There's nothing to hide. I have to do my job as far as no matter what.
Yeah, I don't
it is.
really care about you,
But
man. I care about
we
my.
gotta run everything through the state and through our boss.
Okay, and my lawyer is Don Yates.
Don,
Your lawyer, huh? And Don Yates told you never to
Yates?
talk to
Yes.
the police.
what's his number? Do you have his number?
296-2261 is his office.
Okay,
You all have my cell phone.
okay. I could look him up.
Somebody actually.
Where's his office at?
611 Eaton.
But at some point in time, he kind of would have had to talk to the police because one of the few ways, according to the lawyers, that one of the few situations where you really might be served by talking is when it is a self-defense, because you kind of got to explain it. And also that's an area where people end up testifying to sometimes. Because otherwise you can't really explain what happened. So, but nonetheless, it's the lawyers say it's good to have a lawyer to guide you through that. They know when it's time to tell the story. Sometimes that's not the time to tell the story. Just saying.
Okay.
Right across from the,
By the laundromat?
by the church.
Okay.
You know the
yeah.
Masonic building?
Yeah.
Masonic parking lot?
Yes.
He's right next to
Next to that, okay, perfect.
So basically, if I didn't
Can I ask you how
interrupt
the
you,
fellow's doing?
Right now, he's, critical. Alright. She's gonna get a camera, we'll take some pictures of you.
he did show
Then-
remorse.
See,
I
got
mean,
that one. Would you consent to getting some buccal swabs from you for, DNA?
No.
Okay.
but the lawyers they
Already got
don't
my
they don't
DNA.
appreciate you giving stuff up like that. The lawyers don't want you to give up anything.
Why do you need my DNA?
Because when we do cases, we get DNA for everything. We just match up DNA.
Plus, they
case
they
we
have
need it
once they have
later
whatever
on.
you
For the
give
case,
them.
we have it.
I mean, they have
I mean,
what you
it's not a
gave them.
big deal. If anything, if we do need it, we just get it, we'll do it
Not a
first
big
one.
deal.
It's not a
It
big
ain't no
deal.
thing. Ain't no thing, man.
At
It
all.
ain't no thing.
We'll, I ask in case the person wants to do it and get it done with, but if not, it's just, if we have to get it, we'll just do paperwork.
I mean,
Yeah, that means
there was
we'll
no
get a
blood, there's no
warrant.
fisticuffs. I mean,
We're going to get it anyway, one way or another.
I don't think they did.
Paperwork. We have to
We're
do
not gonna do
paperwork.
the buccal swabs. Which is fine. Okay. No, perfect. Just take a picture of that, both.
oh, you do have those. Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have my phone back yet, or my meds.
As soon as they get the meds, we'll get them. Perfect.
Well, my friend, that concealed carry permit is not going to do you any more good anymore. And by the way, the Florida licenses, they have a 0 at the back of them. His does as well. His no longer would have a 0 at the back of it. I'll put that right back for you. At 0. Let's do it one time. There you go, Joey. All right. Yeah, that's 0 right there. Just in case you didn't know, that indicates how many felonies the person has. So that way, and if you had a felony, if a person had a felony, they are instructed to go down and get their license adjusted accordingly. That number right there tells how many felonies the person has been convicted of. So when the officer asks for ID and the person pulls out their ID, he knows just by looking at that last number what he's got. And, I don't want you to see the number anyway, but I covered it up. But there's a 0 at the end. He knows just by looking at that number what he's got, which is just a little bit of Florida trivia, just so you know. So if you live in Florida, look at your license, and then that'll tell how many felonies. And I'm sorry to bust you out, boyfriends. Girlfriends, if you really want to know, does your man who's lived in Florida all his life have any felonies? Ask to see his license. That last number will tell you. Florida trivia for you. Florida trivia. And that brings me up to another point. I mean, just because you have a clean background, that doesn't mean that you can't do any out of pocket stuff like that. This is an example of somebody with a clean background. So here's a little quick trip. The clean background just simply means you haven't got caught. It doesn't mean you didn't do anything. That was brought to my attention one day. I was doing an interview, and the guy asked me, he said, have you ever been arrested? And I boldly told him, oh, no, I've never been arrested. I got all bold with my shoulders started to move around and everything. You know, he kind of could see that, and he just kind of took the tennis ball and bounced it back on me and said, yeah, okay, I feel you. Mm-hmm. You just haven't gotten caught. So just remember, a clean police record, what it really means, you just ain't got caught. Now, again, in theory, it means you probably haven't done anything, because if you've done a bunch of stuff, then you're going to get caught. All right. But in the final analysis, it means you haven't got caught. But I mean, that'll be a new script for like a Law and Order show. Hey, can I go home for 3 days and handle this paperwork I got to do?
Positive vote.
Now they gotta marinate a little bit. I don't see nothing on this one.
James has to do the white background.
What a mess. And I mean, I
So I
said
can
what
shoot
I
it
said.
then.
We have a little bit of
Yeah,
fun with
sometimes
this stuff.
it'll take a little bit of time.
But it's sad to see somebody just toss their life away
We've got the other ones too. The ones that Brian
riding
got.
on an ego trip,
Let me go see if he got
flying
the
with
other ones too.
alcohol in their system, being armed, getting a little frustrated because they couldn't roll up on some strange.
I gave you your key back, right? What's that? I gave you your handcuff keys. Okay. I like that. Yeah, you know it. I like the mustache.
That's pretty much what happened. He doesn't even realize it. Because, like, think about it. If you were seeking something, when would your level of tolerance be greater? When you were near it, when you were getting what you were seeking, or when what you were seeking eluded you? When would you be most frustrated? Obviously, when what you were seeking eluded you. So yeah, he was a little bit frustrated. I think it would be unfair to say he took out his frustrations on that man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was frustrated, and I'm saying that I'm sure helped cloud his judgment. I mean, he owned one of the building. He had it was an office building. And if you look, like, this is Key West, Florida.
How you are. Okay, can you turn around and face the wall for me? Perfect.
It's pretty much like you're 2 minutes from water pretty much all throughout the Keys. 5 minutes or something.
And again, if you don't mind lifting up your shirt for me so I can see your belt.
It's like a paradise down there.
And arms by your side.
And then it's like summertime year round down there in the Keys.
All right.
You can tell she's got short sleeves on,
And I apologize, and then you kind of close to your face.
and it's February 13th.
Can you look over that shoulder for me? And the other way. I am gonna have to take your shirt. Oh yeah. You got it. Some blood here in the back too. So I'm just gonna take that. I doubt you're gonna want to keep that anyway. You're not missing any jewelry or anything. Everything that you've got on now is what you're wearing, right?
Correct.
Nothing's damaged, nothing's broken. Your watch is good.
Here should be good.
Not missing any stones from the ring.
Does not appear to be so.
All that again, he'd been better off just minding his own business. Let that man take that pee.
I will ask one more time. I'm gonna need those antibiotics. What is it? See this?
What did you do?
I got bursitis.
Okay.
And it feeds encephalitis. And I'm on this heavy regimen of antibiotics. I'm supposed to take them at 3 a.m.
Okay.
I'm gonna need another bottle of water too, if you find.
Yes.
I gotta take lots of water.
Nope, that I can get you immediately. The meds, I think Marcus just went to your class about that as well. So it's not gonna be a nice. Can you fish me another bottle of water, please? I think the case is in this room here. We're not saving yet.
Yep, it's 7 o'clock in the morning after Super Bowl Sunday, the Monday after. He could be watching Sports Center, having steak and eggs, but instead he's sitting at the police station, post station. Yeah, they're gonna take that gold chain from you, buddy boy. I don't think you're ever gonna wear another gold chain again. I think while we're here together, let me do a look up and see where he is in this case.
Did they end up having to drain it, or were they just hoping this antibiotics would cut it out?
They can't drain it now because of the infection. I was on Augmentin for 4 days. That didn't even touch it.
Right.
They don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
These two, I know if I go to jail, you're gonna confiscate my wallet. Can I put it back? in
Yeah,
my
they're gonna
wallet?
take it.
They're fine there for now. We'll put everything together before we go.
Okay.
I don't know if he still needs to.
They're
get it
taking
from the
that
shop.
gum too. So, anyways, 57-year-old man,
Did you wash hands?
second-degree
Did you-
murder is the charge.
They didn't give you anything to wipe up with or anything, like if you had blood on you
I
or
wouldn't,
anything
even
like
when I
that?
went to pee, they wouldn't let me wash my hands, no. I immediately set my firearm on the hood
Mhm.
and stopped.
Oh, they upgraded the charge on in June to first degree. And the kid, it was like a kid, right? And it was like a beloved kid.
Do you remember? if
He
you
really
had
wasn't
shirt
a
on or not? Was he
troublemaker.
closed all the way?
Well, it was closed except they was peeing. I
Okay,
don't think
just
they had a
peeing.
shirt on.
Okay.
Yeah, he had his member hanging. This occurred at the Conch Town Liquor and Lounge, located at 3340 North Roosevelt Boulevard. I think they call it the Sears Town Shopping Center. Him and his family owned that shopping center. Again, it was across from the location where he decided to shoot that man. He's currently held at the Monroe County Jail without bond. The gentleman he killed, by the way, was 21-year-old. 21-year-old guy. Probably barely was drinking legal. What a waste on both parts.
Does anybody else have access to the surveillance system other than yourself? For the parking lot?
No, I need to get in there and look at it.
Are you the only one that has the capability to do that, or is there somebody else that has access?
There is somebody else, but I don't give you permission yet.
You don't like him that much. Said, I don't give you permission.
That we're gonna need to be able to see that.
Hmm?
You understand we're gonna need to be able to see the video.
Yep. But yeah, it's a good thing to just.
That's one of the few spots that isn't clear. Because I don't have a camera sitting right here.
Right.
Of course, there's no audio. It's illegal to audio.
Legal to audio. Okay, I get it. So legal to audio. So we're gonna go, and thanks a lot for sticking with us this far. I'm gonna put a stop to that, and we're gonna get an opportunity to see the actual video. Let's go down on that and give it a little sound. See what's up. So, yeah, that's the video. Let me give it some volume here. They're just talking. You didn't really miss what it was. Let's see what happened. Here we go.
Key West 911. What is the address of
I need somebody. I need somebody at Compton right away. Somebody just got shot.
This is newly obtained surveillance video from the state attorney's office. They say showing the morning well-known businessman Lloyd Preston Brewer fatally shoots an unarmed 21-year-old.
That's it.
We freeze the moment.
That's the deal. That's it. Dude, here we go. Now, here's the dude minding his own business, letting his own water go upside this wall. And that's what he's doing. Now you're there.
Attorney's office. They say showing the morning well-known businessman Lloyd Preston Brewer fatally shoots an unarmed 21-year-old.
There it is.
We freeze the moment before he collapses outside a Key West bar. Prosecutors say Brewer himself calls 911.
Yes, hello. I just shot someone.
Now, if you have been with us the whole time, you would have heard him say something to the effect of the dude died in this area here. Okay, big deal. We already know the initial confrontation happened right here. I'm just saying. That's all.
He collapses outside a Key West bar. Prosecutors say Brewer himself calls 911.
Yes, hello. I just shot someone.
You just shot someone? Who did you shoot?
I don't know. What is your name? Garrett Hughes.
Okay. Why'd you shoot him?
He came at me aggressively in my parking lot at Contown.
What name
Police
is
say
parking lot?
21-year-old victim Garrett Hughes is seen here shirtless, leaving Conktown Liquor and Lounge just after 12:30 a.m. on February 13th, and was urinating on the side of the building when confronted by Brewer. You can see Brewer appears to reach for something in his waistband and raises his arms. There's an altercation before shots are fired. In the video, it's not clear when that happens.
Sir, where is the person shot?
Right up in the abdomen. Here.
In their abdomen? Okay, stay on the line for me. Do not hang up.
Garrett, look at me. Garrett, look at me.
Brewer, who faces a second-degree murder charge, was in a Key West courtroom on Thursday for a hearing. Tributes for Hughes, described as a loving son and
Yeah, that
stellar
boy
athlete,
was
have continued since the
having a
shooting.
real
The victim's family has also filed a lawsuit. As for Brewer, his attorney emailed us saying that they will present the true picture of what actually happened that morning at a bond hearing that right now is scheduled for April 26th. We're in Key West. I'm Janine Stanwood, Local 10 News.
And then you
So what's the over/under on me going to? Rick Ramsey's hotel tonight.
Rick Ramsey's Hotel, that's a good way of putting it. We're still working out all the details, so we're not making that decision right this second.
I would like to get in touch with my lawyer. I've asked 3 times. And was denied the ability.
When did you ask for that?
When I was detained at the scene
Okay.
and when I was downstairs.
Who is your attorney?
Don Yates. I'm not saying I refuse to cooperate. I'm saying I would like to confer with counsel.
Sure, okay. I am not sure where your phone is, but
It, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, he's going to go. It's just a matter of time. And at the end of the day, I hope you heard some pieces and bits and this and that out of that particular clip, because that's a good recipe, shall I say, for trouble, what he did. And the opposite of what he did is a good recipe for safety. I mean, if you feel that you need to carry a firearm, which is what a lot of people in America feel, then there's certain things that they already taught you at the classes. Some places in America, you don't need to go to a class to be able to carry a weapon, but in some places you do. And one of the things that they tell you is that don't start trouble, because what happens is there's certain rights that you have to use that firearm. But when you start causing trouble with people and starting stuff, you actually lose those rights. And then all of a sudden, what you do is you find yourself in the Ramsey Hotel, like that individual there. So that's it. I mean, if you want to carry, carry, carry and don't drink, carry and mind your own business. Until next time, drive with care and walk with caution. God bless you. See you.